The idea is not just to quit while you're ahead. The idea is to make your drug money work for you. And I know that sounds so funny, but wealthy people have money working for them. Most people work for money. The wealthy have assets that are building wealth and making them money all of the time. Passive income. That was my whole goal. I knew this. I knew what a great and unique opportunity I had by sitting on all this money. I knew that this was my shot to build dynastic wealth. And if you look at the history of this country, I'm talking about the Roosevelts, I'm talking about the Kennedys. You can trace their origins of their wealth back to drug dealing. With the Roosevelts, it was grandfather Roosevelt. It was Teddy Roosevelt's grandfather, who was a big-time player in the opium trade during the Chinese opium wars of the mid-19th century. They made a lot of money, and it built a dynasty. It created a family of oligarchs that we know as the Roosevelts. The Kennedys, of course, you go back to Joe Kennedy and his mob ties and his rum running and bootlegging during the Prohibition of the 1920s, was able to build an empire that still really persists to this day. So that was my thinking with it. It was not only cleaning up the drug money and creating layers between myself and the street life, it was using that to buy businesses and real estate and equity that would create sustainable, legitimate wealth well into the future so I could have something to pass on to my kin. And that is the goal of the gangster. At the end of the day, it is to not be a gangster. That's what most people don't understand, is that real gangsterism is not the end. It's a means to an end. And when you look at the most successful gangster families in this country, it all traces back to illegal money. I think that's a quote from a famous philosopher. Behind every great fortune is an even greater crime. I think Balzac said that or something. And even if you look at a lot of the Mexican cartels, their children are doctors and scientists and chemists and business people. And they have almost completely assimilated into legitimate society to where they're almost not even criminals anymore. Now, of course, a lot of them, like El Chapo's son, choose that gangster life, but that's ego, and that's because they grow up privileged and they think it's cool. It's not cool. The coolest people are the ones who you never hear about, who get away scot-free and turn that illegal money that originated from the street and use it to create a whole other life for themselves and to move themselves up in the class structure. So that's ultimately the point of money laundering. It's to allow yourself to get out of the game. At the end of the day, money laundering is a privilege. If you are in the position to launder money, that means you have had some success in the drug game. The vast majority of drug dealers on planet Earth are doing it out of sheer desperation because they have no other choice. They're literally doing it as a way to put food on their table. And they will never ascend high enough in the business to even have enough money to launder. You know, it's like the Scarface line when Tony first meets Frank.
And then you're gonna find out your biggest problem is not bringing in the stuff, but what to do with all the fucking cash.
I hope I have that problem someday.
I had that problem. Now, I didn't have a chance to implement all of these money laundering strategies because I got arrested too quick. But if I had to do it again, I'm confident that I have the knowledge and the experience to launder my money correctly. And I want to be clear. If you sell drugs at the level that I was doing it, or higher, and you do that enough, you're going to be arrested. You're going to be caught. It's an inevitability. The state, the government just has too many resources dedicated to going after people like that. You're at the casino long enough, the house always wins. So the idea is to stack your chips and put them away. So after you're arrested, you do your time and you come out, you don't have to go back to that life. It's like a drug dealer's 401k plan. You put it away, and by the time you get out and you want to retire, you're able to. And it's built you enough wealth to where you never have to go back to the game. Hey guys, if you like that video, be sure to check out the full-length episode right here. All right, we'll see you later.